Welcome back to another video. I've always wanted a space that I could make my own, one that is minimal, utilitarian, and inspires creativity. In this video, I'm going to show you how I took a spare walk-in closet and turned it into my tiny dark room. Welcome to my setup. Starting it off with my actual desk, I'm using a Nikkei desk from IKEA. It is small enough to fit into my space, and the two things I love about it is that it's got a hole that allows for cable pass-through to achieve that clean aesthetic, and it's got a drawer. In the drawer, I keep triggers for my various camera brands, some hard drives, cables, spare keys, and a mini tripod, and some backup iPhones. Sitting on my desk is my keyboard of choice. This is the Logitech K380. It allows me to pair 3 different devices. It's got markings for both Windows and Mac operating systems. It's small, wireless, and it was very affordable. Typing can feel a bit cramped, but once you put a few hours into it, you'll be typing at your normal speed. The mouse is the Logitech MX Master 2S. I use it for both work and home, and it's probably saved me from carpal tunnel syndrome. The computer is the base model Mac Studio with the M1 Max chip, a 24-core GPU, and 32 gigs of RAM. It is the best desktop for content creators, and I've made a video all about it, and you can watch it in the link below. Next, I have the base model Wacom Intuos S tablet. If you do any sort of retouching in Photoshop, you have to get this tablet. There's no better way to retouch skin than using a pressure-sensitive pen, and I cannot recommend this one enough. If you're interested in seeing how I use it, please leave a comment below and I might make a video on it. The star of the show is this massive 34-inch monitor from BenQ. A funny story. A few years back, I did a shoot for a client and they were very unhappy because they said their face looked too orange. While I feel like it was a bit of an exaggeration, one thing that has always haunted me was the fact that I knew that my monitor was not the most color accurate display. Often I would look at my final images on multiple screens to ensure that the colors were somewhat right. After I purchased my M1 MacBook Pro and using its perfect display, I finally decided to buy a high quality, color accurate display, and after a few months of searching, I landed on this one. It has a 34-inch QHD display with a 21:9 ultra-wide aspect ratio. It has 100% sRGB and 98% P3 color spaces, which means it's super color accurate, and it's one of the closest things I've seen to a Mac display. It's way more affordable than the Apple Studio display, and I'm a big fan of the productivity that you can accomplish on an ultra-wide. One often overlooked part of a desk setup is the chair that you use. For some, the chair is something that you sit in for a couple of hours per week, but for someone like myself, I have an office desk job where I spend about 10 hours sitting, and then I come here to create videos and to edit photos. This amounts to about 16 hours per day sitting down, and so the chair that I sit in is very important. What I have here is the Technion Nova Contessa All Mesh Task Chair. It's an ergonomic chair that can support a person of up to 300 pounds. It has a unique coordinated mesh back and mesh seat with different weaves for comfort and support. It has your standard tilt and height adjustment, but it's adjusted through what they call the signature smart operation concept. The seat can be moved forward and backwards, and it has lumbar support, though it's not adjustable like any other high-end office chair. I went with this chair because of the mesh seating. I have major hip problems, so I find that sitting on a mesh chair seat that is not heavily padded does not add any upward pressure on my glutes. If there are any downsides, I would say that it doesn't come with a headrest as standard, and it took about 3 months to get the chair when it was ordered. The microphone is called the Uhuru UM900. It is a USB condenser microphone, and for something so affordable, it has really good sound quality. I've used it for the last few videos, including this one, and it has dramatically improved my audio. In order to get that great sound, you do have to edit it in a program like Audacity, but because it records at such a high sampling rate, you can easily achieve great sound. I've got 2 sets of headphones. I primarily use the Anker Soundcore 20s for work and monitoring audio, and then I use my Sony XM4s for podcasts and music. To the side is where I keep my iPad Air, as well as a charger, and in these compartments is where I keep my backup hard drives. The pegboard is from IKEA as well. This is used for easy to reach items that I use often, as well as various forms of inspiration. I used to be a collector of G-Shock watches, and so that's why I have those as well. This cabinet behind me is where I store my lenses, batteries, cameras, flashes, and so on. The Sony and the Nikon are my workhorses. The Canon used to be my go-to for studio work as it's extremely good at focusing in low light and the colors are really good. The Fuji is what I use for personal work, and sometimes I also use it for these talking head videos. Lastly, this is where I keep my tripod and how I shoot my videos. If I missed anything and you want more information on it, please let me know below in the comments and I'll be happy to answer. I've got a second setup where I keep my Windows desktop machine as well as where I do my day job. If you're interested in seeing that, let me know below and I'll make that video next. Thank you once again for watching.